All right, we're going to start our new series today, looking at the battle within. The battle within. And we just going to kind of walk through this week looking at Paul in chapter 7 of Romans. Next week we're going to look at 2 Corinthians chapter 12 in the thorn. But today we're talking about this battle that he was talking about. That you know that it used to be this little example they would have when we was little, with an angel on one side and the devil on the other side with the little red man with the pitchfork. And Flip Wilson would say, the devil made me do it. Y'all remember that? He would say, the devil made me do it. Well, we got this battle going on the inside of us. And that's what Paul was talking about when he said this. He says, for I know that nothing good dwells within me, that is in my flesh. For the wishing is present in me, but the doing of good is not. We know that, right? And that, for those of us who struggle with addiction, that's been our dilemma. Because it looks like we want to do all of the crazy stuff that we do. And when we try to explain it to people that I don't want to do this, and they say, no, that was your intention. That's you. And you're like, no, I really don't want to use. I really want help. I really want to get clean, but it doesn't look like it, right? And when we come into this fellowship, we meet people like us, and we can identify for the first time, and we realize we're not alone. And that's a big deal. Now, it don't solve the problem, but at least I'm not by myself. And it is a difference between the bad stuff that I do and me as a person. And we'll talk about that a little later. I just want you to put a pin in that. It says, we must surrender and face our pain head on. We may have spent a lifetime, check this out, avoiding, medicating the pain. That's what we do, right? I'm trying to run from something. I got these issues going on the inside of me, and I got this pain, and I'm really getting high to avoid it because I don't know how to face this stuff. And I medicate. That's what we do. We're medicating because I don't want to feel this, whatever it is. The loneliness, the anger, the whatever. Mine was low self-esteem and abandonment. Those types of things. And I didn't know how to feel those things, and I didn't know how to deal with them, so I got high to either enhance how I was feeling, make it bigger or better, or to avoid it altogether, because I did not know how to feel. And that's what it is with us in here as well. It says, looking within is an opportunity to face reality and admit that our life isn't working with us in control. That's a hard one. See, it's hard enough for me to admit that my life ain't working. It's another one for me to admit that I'm the problem. Because I had a whole list of people that was to blame for my problem. I'm quite sure y'all got a few. And some of them in this room. Right? Because we blame the people who's most close to us for one reason or another, right? We blame society, we blame race, we blame everything other than us. I had a whole list of people. It was their fault, the reason why I was the way I was. And come to find out, it was me. And after admitting that, it gets worse. Then I have to admit that the problem is I'm in control. And it's hard for me because I got trust issues. It's hard for me to trust somebody else to run my life. So although I know I keep running my life in a ditch, I ain't gonna let you run me in a ditch. If I'm gonna go in the ditch, I'm gonna be driving. And that is, y'all, crazy. Right? If I keep driving in the ditch, then what should I consider? Maybe letting somebody else drive, right? If I drive in the ditch over and over again, I ought to say, I can't drive. Somebody else needs to drive. And it don't take a rocket scientist to get there, Lorenzo. You know, a real simple person be able to figure that out. That, you know what? I ain't the best at being in control of my life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let somebody else be in control of my life. So those of us that sleep on the Golden Gate Adult Rehabilitation Ministry premises, you know who in control? That would be me. What'd I do? In control. Should I do my Janet Jackson control song thing? Or move on? Move on. Haters. It says we embrace our powerlessness and stop pretending. That's what we got to do, y'all. It's okay to be powerless, because we're going to learn next week that once I admit that I am powerless, that's when God's grace can be made perfect. But as long as I struggle with the power, God can't come in and take over my life. See what I'm saying? And he will allow me to run into the ditch as many times as I need to. Because he will never take this thing that he gave us in the beginning of time away from us. And that's called dominion. That means free will. He will never take that away from me. So if I want to keep driving in the ditch over and over again, you know what he'll do? Sit there and wait on me. Because he can outweigh us. He can outweigh us. Because he got more time than we do. You know what I'm saying? Our little time is running low, right? You ever feel like you're running out of time? I don't think God ever feels that way. So he'll outweigh you. He was waiting on some of us at 20, then 30, then 40, then 50. Sound like hide and go seek, don't it? Just keep going up and up, and he's still waiting. So you would do better just saying, throwing your hands up and say, all right, it is truly awful to admit, glass in hand, that I've warped my mind into such an obsession for destructive drinking that only an act of providence can remove it from me. So I surrender. And let somebody else control your life. You know, at least you have somebody else to blame other than you. And this time you'll be real. I always share this because when I got there August the 5th of 1992, I told these guys that I'm going to do whatever y'all say, how y'all say it, when y'all say it. And if I don't stay clean, it will be y'all fault. I almost wanted to fall off, crazy as that sounds, because I didn't want them to be right. And I've been doing what those people say. And if I stay clean for a couple more weeks, I have 28 years, 27 years. And they ain't led me to the dope house yet. And dadgummit, I'm not all right with them being right. Because you know what that means? That they know better how to run my life than I do. Isn't that sad? For the same man that was standing up there doing all this, talking about he gonna run your life, he got some other folks running his life. Now that's scary, ain't it? The drive, so he gonna drive us, but he can't drive his own car. Therein lies the whole situation of recovery. That's how it works. You know that? That you help somebody else and somebody helps you. And everybody gets to their appointed destination. Rock bottom is a beautiful story. Bottom, y'all, is when I become willing to do anything. Have you ever tried to help somebody and then they have all of these contingencies? They say I'm at bottom, so I need your help. But it has to be this way. And you need to do it like this right here. Like, whoa. So what you need to do is take a step back and let them hurt some more till they get to the point to where they they will allow. Now the hard thing for the people that love us is their tolerance for our pain is not as great as ours. So they jump in because they're tired of seeing us like that. Close your eyes. Because every time you jump in, you prolong the process. They were probably almost at the point where they had enough pain, and you jumped in, then had to start all over again. You know, the ground ain't gonna hurt them. They'll be all right, I promise you. God got them. It said, looking at ourselves, we see it has two distinctive parts. Let me hear it. The first part is the admission that we have obsessive traits. Those traits appear in the way that we try to manipulate our affairs to ease the inter-separateness from God. God created every human being with a void on the inside of him that nothing but him can fill. And we try to fill it with all kinds of stuff. And y'all earth people try to fill it with stuff too. It just ain't dope. And y'all don't end up homeless, and y'all don't end up in places like this. It don't mean that you ain't trying to fill that void with something other than him. It just don't render you in these kind of places, all right? So you guilty too. You just don't end up in treatment centers, all right? I know you didn't come here to hear that. You want to come to hear how sick your loved one was, not you. So I'll move on. We're in the grips of an addictive process that renders us powerless over our behavior. So the second part is the admission that our lives has been and will continue to be unmanageable if we insist on living our own will. That's it, y'all. That's it. I can stop there, as the old preacher say. It says, we come to the program outwardly stating that we want to stop, but inwardly we are confused. And we look just like this young lady here. We're confused because we, just like Paul said, you know, that wishing is well in me, but the doing is something totally different, right? So I am confused because I don't want to use, but I keep using. And when I say I'm not going to use, I use anyway. I do those things that I don't want to do. That's confusing. Beaten, afraid, and alone. That's where when we come in here, we're all of those things. But we still struggle to turn our will over to somebody else. Even though I'm confused, beaten, afraid, and alone. And loneliness is we have a whole bunch of character defects. And some of them we share. And loneliness is one that all of us as addicted people share in that one, because we don't feel like nobody understands us and we feel all alone. Because that's what the disease does. That's that separateness, because sin separated us from God. So that makes us alone. That makes sense? And we feel that, and that void is so strong we can't take it. That's why we medicate. And until we deal with that loneliness on the inside of us, we will never be able to stay clean, because it's too strong. We have to feel that void. I recommend you fill it with him. But until then, you're going to fill it with something. Shopping, food, stuff, sex, something. Somebody read that.
For I do not do the good I want, but the evil I do not want is what I keep on doing. Now if I do what I do not want, it is no longer I who do it, it's sin that dwells within me. So I find it to be a law that when I want to do right, evil lies close at hand, and for delight in the law of God in my inner being. But I see in my members another law waging war against the law of my mind, and making me captive to the law of sin that dwells in my memory. Wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death?
That's it, isn't it? That's how we come. He called himself, wretched man that I am, who would deliver me from this body? Because we feel trapped in this body of sin and can't get out. Let me move on. I love this. This is one of my favorite quotes. This is from the 12 by 12 in step 1. We know that little good can come to any addict who joins the fellowship unless he first accepts his devastating weakness and all its consequences. We know that little good can come to any of us until we first admit our devastating weakness. And it is devastating, and it's a weakness. And all of the consequences. They say, family members, that we are consequence-driven people, talking about addicts. So unless we suffer the consequences of our own actions, we don't change. And the issue is, I know you sit back and say, I know they have had enough. No, that's you have had enough. Our level of pain is different. We got to suffer the right amount of pain to where we say, I stand ready to do anything that would lift this merciless obsession from me. When you hear us saying, well, I'm going to do it, but I'll do this if and that, then you know that addict ain't ready. When we're ready, we say, I will do anything. They told me, I always share this, I ain't got but one story. They told me I was arrogant, and I don't know how they could have thought that. Humble as I am. You know, I'm meek and mild and lowly. All of those are adjectives that describe me. And everybody says that. They said, give us your car and walk for 90 days and catch the bus so that you can be humble. I was not in their program. I was in another program. And I done it. I can't ask y'all to walk across the street without a fight. And you wonder why you keep coming to places like this. I can't get you to do nothing without a struggle. Because I didn't want to hurt no more. I had accepted my devastating weakness and all its consequences. The consequences was I was going to continue to live the way I was living. Now I didn't want to get in my car, but you know what they had told me, Lorenzo? They said you gave it to the dope man for $5. So why you can't give it to us? Now I didn't let somebody, probably you, now one of you dope dealers in here, get my car. Was your name Black on the street? So it wasn't you. I gave my car to somebody named Black. And he come back about 12 hours later, and I felt like a fool. They said, who in your car? Black. You know how crazy that is? You gave your car to somebody, you don't even know his government name. But he had given me a dime and had promised to give me another dime when he got back. And I give him my whole car. That's your devastating weakness and all its consequences, right? And I always get cars and I always, think I'm flying them. But then I suffer from something. Just like that one out there. For $5, I give it to him. Catch me right. Ain't that something? But I'll come in here and argue with you about doing things to help me. And I'm not alone, right? It gets even better. It says, until, there go that word, he so humbles himself, his sobriety, if any, will be precarious. That means short-lived. Until you humble yourself and be willing to do whatever it takes, your sobriety will be precarious, short-lived. And y'all, we all in this room ought to be tired of being on that roller coaster of staying clean for a month, falling off. Staying clean for a year and falling off. Whatever your cycle is. Aren't you tired of staying clean for a little while and ending up in these kind of places and having somebody like me trying to run your life? Ain't you sick of that? I'm the only sane director I've ever met, Brianna. I'm the only one I've ever met with some sense. I'm the only one I've met. on, Kyrie.
Just get you wrong with that.
Of real happiness, he will find none at all. Of real happiness. Don't y'all want to be happy for real, whatever that is? Real happiness. And to me, that just means that I'm free. You remember we talked about this morning? Happy, joyous, and free. Of real happiness, he will find none at all. It's hard to be, because we said this morning that happiness is contingent upon happenings, Brianna. That means I need to be getting most of the things I want. And in these kind of places, you don't never get what you want. It's just folks that just like to say no. Almost like for no reason at all. Before you get it out, no. So it's hard to be happy, right? And so I want to get out of that kind of situation. And so do you. Let me move on. It says, if sobriety is to take place, we must surrender. Must surrender. And that looks like, you know what? I get. I done tried to get clean on my own. And it didn't work. So it don't really matter who's running my life. I'll take my will and my life and guide me in my recovery and show me how to live. That's what it is. You surrender. That just means, Emmett, you cease fighting everybody and everything. Remember the cowboy and Indian movies where they wave the white flag? No, the police said, come out with your what? Hands up. That means I surrender. That's what you got to do in here. You just got to say, you know what, I give. And that's hard to do, but it can be done. Confess we cannot win the battle alone. You need help. And your help is in this room. We got a little bit of everything. We got, as they say in the fellowship, we got people in this room with long-term clean time. That's the new word they call it now. They were Archie them call it. Did I say it right?
Long-term recovery.
Long-term recovery. We got people in here with that. So you know what? That means you can allow them to help you. Just real quickly. Just say how long you been clean.
2 years.
Say it with your chest.
2 years.
6, 30, 12, I quit counting.
17 years.
17. Say it with your chest.
17 years.
All right.
13 months.
13 months.
14 months.
14 months. 26. So that means you can get some people to help you. We got some people in this room that know Jesus. And they can help you. We even got counseling interns in here that will help you. So you ain't got to do this alone. Why, if you got all of this help, are you fighting this battle by yourself? That's crazy, isn't it? That you in a place where there is help, but you choose to fight alone. I was talking to a brother the other day. I said, man, you call some people from the church? Not yet. Well, if I'm hurting and it's God-fearing men over there that's living the way that I want to live, why wouldn't I go and talk to the men? Is something wrong with that? Don't y'all think? You know, it says this right here. If you have what I want, I ought to be willing to go there and let you get it. They told me to find some people in here that had what I want. And they wasn't talking about just in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous. I found me some godly men over in the church that said they had never smoked no crack before, but they were doing some things that the way I wanted to do. You see what I'm saying? I seen some fathers over there. I seen some husbands over there. I seen some hardworking men over there. I seen some prayer warriors over there. I seen some men that read the word. And I said, man, I want that. It wasn't just people like Kyrie that I wanted what he had. I wanted what he had too. I wanted clean time, but I wanted more than just being clean. It's more to it than that, y'all. Don't stop short of just getting clean and stop. No, I want life and life more abundantly, don't you? I want everything. I told some brothers this today because I've had a couple of them to tell me, oh, I'm going to leave early. I said, you know what? You may stay clean, but you're going to sure miss out on something that God has for you. Because God didn't send you to a 6-month program for you to stay 2 months. And who's making the decision of how long you're going to stay? The fool that brought you here? That's who you trust. That person that took you to the dope house. That person that said, go get one. That person that said, go sell your car, sell your shoes. That's who you listening to now? You listen to the wrong person. It's one person I know I can't trust. Me and those people. Them same people that told me that I'm humble as a lamb. When I get along with those people, it's trouble. Trouble. And they go with me everywhere. And they be talking too, all the time. And they tell me stuff, and it's good stuff too. You know, I can't share with everybody what they say, but sometimes I share it with my wife, and it just astounds her that, you know, that me and them people came up with that. But the book says it's at least one other person here. At least. And they ain't schizophrenic. So now she's shooting film to diagnose me and try to get me a pill. Ain't no pill for that. It's at least we hear voices. I ain't talking about schizophrenic voices. Because you know what it always told me? Let's us go get one. How many of y'all heard that? Let's us go get one. And you by yourself, it's like, who is us? And do y'all have some money? They never have no money. But they were always talking about, let us go get one. And they never have no money. They have any money with you? But they always saying that, right? Let's us go get one. Who is us? It's just me. That's the people. That's the battle. I ain't crazy. Accept the process of recovery. This thing has a process. It looks like this, y'all. It looks like I get me a sponsor. I work some steps. I do 90 meetings in 90 days. We believe here that we work both programs here. If you ended up at the Golden Gate Adult Rehabilitation Ministry, we believe that God intended you to work both programs. What both programs? The therapeutic program of Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous. And you need to find you a church home and get actively involved in it. Or why would he send you to a place that prescribes both if he didn't want you to work both? That's what I do. You know, that you go to some meetings and you say, hi, my name is Obi and I'm an addict, right? And then I go over there and say, hi, my name is Obi and I'm a sinner. But I don't have to identify over there. I can just raise my hand or tap my feet or just walk in there because they say all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So I ain't got to even say it. I just go over there. If I'm over there, that means something wrong with me. And them too. There is a battle going on in the inside of us with the spirit man and the flesh. Let me hurry up and end this thing. It says, in order to win the battle, we must, this is Pastor Parker's word here. Y'all got to help me with all those things he said because y'all know I don't remember. He said, feed the spirit man and deny the flesh. But he said, don't do what to it? Don't entertain it. Don't talk to it. Don't what? Don't compromise. Don't gas it up.
Don't repair the engine.
Don't repair the engine.
Right now.
Kill it.
Now ain't that some of them people's in the congregation with us and they don't even remember what the pastor said.
Shoot it.
And then he said shoot it, right? But we ain't gonna say that because they're offending some people. We just gonna starve. And so I have to feed the spirit man. That means that I need to be around baptized believers. I need to be reading the word. I need to be doing those things that are good and wholesome, right? I need to be doing those things. But I gotta